Hello everyone, it's Pixel again, and here is my review of the movie that was based on the Midwich Cuckoos. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive in. Now, the movie pretty much follows the same premises as the book. Like, something happened, like some anomaly happens, the entire town of Midwich all of a sudden passes out, and when they regain consciousness, all the women of childbearing age is pregnant with kids. And of course, yeah, you can probably tell where the movie's going now. There were not a lot key differences, but there were, I think, a few, like instead of the hive mind aspect being just restrained to all the boys and all the girls, both the boys and the girls both seem to share a hive mind. That and as many people pointed out, in this version, the kids also have another power, which is the ability to read minds. And also, one thing about the kids that, I always did kind of get the feeling that the kids in the book, I kind of got the impression that they may have not known their own strength. And yeah, most of the time that anything happened to them, they simply defended themselves. And yeah, here it's kind of a mixed bag for me, because at one point one of the kids throws a ball at one of the girls, and of course their ringleader tells her to leave them alone. And later on, it's revealed that a boy actually ended up drowning. And, of course, the kids were involved. Well, in the book, it was a bull that they drowned. At least, I think. I don't know. I mostly found the Midwich Cuckoos on the radio drama, I think is what you would call it, and the Wikipedia. I'm sorry. I probably should have mentioned that in my book review. But yeah. And also I also think that this kind of gets a teeny bit overlooked, but at one point when they're talking with Zellaby, David explains that they haven't reached a certain point of when it comes to their mind reading powers. Sorry. And yeah, so that part of their powers is still developing. But yeah, but still in the book and in the movie, that they do still trust Zellaby. And also, one thing, also, one difference, at least I've seen, I don't know if this is a difference or not, but Zellaby in the book, instead of thinking of a brick wall, he thinks about some Greek movie or Greek movies or plays. One or the other, I think it was. I don't know. I can't remember. Before the bomb goes off, and yeah. And also, a lot of the characters in the movie, in the book, were kind of cut out. I think the character's name was Gerald, I think his name was, but yeah, they kind of in the movie they kind of worked around it by rolling him into one character, which is the character of Zellaby's son-in-law, David. Now, I think it was someone else, Richard, that the kids paralyzed in the book, but in the movie they paralyzed David Zellaby. And also they find out that I think that they find out in the movie a bit later that, like, Midwich wasn't the only one that had this going on with them when they passed out. And yeah. And still not gonna say it. No, bad idea. Very bad idea. But where in the book I think that they found out a bit earlier that this didn't happen, and also another change was like the eye color. Like, I mean, this movie is in black and white, so they just have like these glowing rings around their pupils, while in the book they're described as gold. But yeah, like I said, they're all kind of one hive mind. The kids, it's not just restricted to just the boys and just the girls. Because, you know, the scene with the puzzle box, like, he gives it to one of the boys, and and the next boy they give it to, he solves it the same way, and when they give it to a girl, she also solves it the same way. And yeah, that, and what else? And I gotta talk about the ending. Now, the ending is left kind of ambiguous after Zellaby blows him and the children up. And it ends with the children's glowing eyes, like, floating away. Like, towards the audience, I guess. Yeah, that. Now, some people, I actually have seen some view as to interpretations as what that could have meant. Like, the children became something that now either non-corporeal now or corporeal, I don't know which. Or it could be like, you know, symbolizing that there's possibly, well, at least I mean, some of this is kind of my own interpretation, but I can't really lay some of it as fact. But I think, like, it's symbolic of kind of telling that there's possibly more like them out there. But at the same time, like, I don't know, it was probably just to, you know, just to kind of put a finishing bow on the present, if that makes any sense. But yeah. And also, I know it's probably not important, but in the book, the driver accidentally hits one of the boys and cuts his hip, and in the movie, he almost hits one of the girls. And I have to say, one of the things that kind of scared me and unnerved me was, well, actually, unnerved me and scared me, yeah, was when the children are forcing the driver's brother to turn the rifle on himself. Dave I think, sorry. Angela and Gordon are all just standing there, and at first I kind of thought that they were just frozen with fear as to what was going on, but then I realized as one of the kids is looking at them as they're forcing him to turn the rifle on himself, I actually got that they were paralyzed with the children's stare, and basically forcing the three of them to stay put. Where in the book, I think it was just Angela that witnessed that it happened. But yeah. And they do seem to be aware of what happened. Well, at least the guy that ends up getting killed. But as for the others, I think that they were not only paralyzed, but also under the children's control. So they basically ended up with, I guess it's kind of like a thing, where do the children end and where do they start when they were doing that to them? Because once the children leave and they see what happened, and then they realized what had happened. So, yeah. And also in the book, sorry if that felt a little rushed, but in the book, it's two of the families actually end up burning in a house fire while everybody was passed out, and some other people died due to exposure. Yeah, that was not a pretty sight. But yeah, but all in all, this movie is a masterpiece, as well as a cult classic, and I may do the sequel, but I haven't actually seen the sequel, so yeah. But yeah, all in all, this movie I would recommend, as well as the book. But also, once again, do keep in mind that both of these materials are products of their time. So, yeah, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I do recommend this movie if anyone wants to do something special for Halloween. So yeah, that was my review. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!